What happened in the previous chapter was that after Mash defeated Abel, a member of Innocent Zero suddenly arrived. At that time, Mash was confronted by this man. While fighting, the man suddenly asked what Mash called his personal magic. Because of this, Mash trembled and responded to the man's question with power. When the man thought that Mash just didn't want to answer his question, he pulled out a powerful magical item called the Spellflexion Mirror, which is capable of reflecting the caster's magic back at them. When the man assumed that this would work on Mash, our hero just kicked it and shattered it in the process. It was then that Mash's friends realized that he wasn't using magic, and everything he had done from the beginning were only physical abilities. They couldn't believe it and were totally flabbergasted by what they learned. At that moment, the men also realized that Mash was indeed the one they were looking for. The man decided to leave for now because he said he had other things to do. Before he left, he introduced himself as Cell War. After that, while discussing how to keep Mash's secret from other people, a student heard it and threatened them that he would report them to their teacher. What's up, Onii-Chan? Welcome back to our manga recap series about Mashle, Magic and Muscles, a story mixed with elements of Harry Potter and One Punch Man. So, let's start the video, continuing the exciting story of Mash in a world full of magic. Let's turn to the base of Innocent Zero. There, we see Cell War apologizing for being late in returning. However, he says he's found what they've been looking for. The person he's talking to states that because of this, he will be able to achieve his wish. He orders Cell War to retrieve it. Let's go back to the past when the news about Mash's inability to use magic started to spread. While that's happening, all the coins of the school went to Adler, signifying that Mash and his friends were getting closer to becoming divine visionaries. Mash and Finn are having a conversation, and our protagonist says he's happy that they resolved that problem quickly. He suggests that it's time for their victory celebration. Finn asks whether they've really solved it. Suddenly, it's shown that our heroes are trying to convince others that Mash really does have magic by shouting at the person until they give in. At least not everyone in the school knows the truth. As Finn is speaking, someone suddenly shouts and calls out Mash's name. The man asks if it's true that Mash can't use magic, whereupon Finn thinks that they are done for. Mash replies that he knows how to use magic. Mash kept repeating his claim until his mind seemed to short-circuit. It seems like his brain shut down. Finn comments that what they taught Mash seems to be working. The man tells him not to lie because everyone already knows and that he's facing a very big problem. Finn then pulls Mash to leave. Suddenly, the man says that protecting a non-magic user will cause trouble for Finn. Because of this, Finn stops. The man continues that Finn may still be a student now, but due to his actions, he could also be expelled, and Finn probably knows this. Finn remains silent. The man continues to assert that Mash cannot use magic and he should stop lying. He questions what the point of protecting a no-magic blight blood like Mash is. Finn yells at the man to shut up, saying it's his decision who he wants to be with. Suddenly, the man is seen face down on the floor when Finn looks back. Finn is surprised because he has just found the courage to speak up, but when he turns back, this is what has happened to the man. It turns out that it was Lance who knocked the man down. The man angrily asks why Lance did that. Lance replies that it's because the man angered him. Mash celebrates because of the display of sibling love. The man then says that Lance is crazy. Suddenly, others arrive. These are Lemon and Dot, and it shows that Dot is completely bandaged and in a wheelchair. Lemon explains that those injuries are more severe than they thought. He has 6 broken ribs, a fractured skull, compound fractures on his hands and feet, blood blisters, and damage to various organ systems. Dot tries to speak, but he can only make sounds. The man stands there in shock. Finally, he just runs away, saying that they are lucky because he's letting them off. In the next scene, after their class, Mash and his friends have a celebration inside Adler dorm room 302. Mash says that now that they have Lang's coins, they can breathe and relax until the Divine Visionary selection starts. Finn is thinking again, feeling that they are setting aside a big issue. In addition, it shows that Abyss and Abel are also at their celebration. Finn wonders why they are there as well. He looks at Abel and notices that Abel never puts down the doll he's holding. Suddenly, Abel hands something over, which surprises Finn. Abel takes out a deck of cards and asks if anyone wants to play. Finn thinks to himself, never mind, It seems like Abel really wants to party. Abel states that he didn't intend to befriend them, but as their senior, he can celebrate for Abyss's recovery with them. Finn thinks that Abel shouldn't have said that. Suddenly, Abyss speaks up and says that anyone who dares to beat Abel in a card game will die by his hands. Finn is surprised and wonders how that is supposed to be fun. Lemon tells Abyss not to say such things and hands him a cup of tea. Abyss is stunned, which makes Lemon wonder. He tries to say thank you and then starts shaking like a fool. He suddenly explodes with nervousness. Abel explains to Lemon that Abyss has little experience with women, to the point where even saying the word girl is difficult for him. Meanwhile, Dot continues to make noise. Love is taking Doe's food, saying, "What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine." Lemon tells Mash that she will serve him as a thank you for what he's done. Mash thanks her and says that he can eat on his own. Suddenly, Lemon freaks out, causing food to splatter onto Mash. After that, while Lemon is cleaning up Mash, she asks Lance where he was when all the chaos was happening. Lance explains that after his fight with the Lang student, he ran into some death row inmates. Finn remains quiet as his companions each do their own thing at the table. Suddenly, Abyss calls out to Mash, and Mash turns to look at him. Abyss thanks Mash for inviting them and warns him. He says that Innocent Zero is focusing on Mash. They are the worst criminal organization in the world. They are looking for the most unfortunate magic user in their school. In exchange for Abel's help, they gave him power. Abel's third line is artificial, part of their gift to him. Natural triple lenders are supposedly even more powerful than Abel. Abel needed the coins, that's why he borrowed power from them. A sacrifice for the greater good. But it seems that Mash has a connection to whoever they are looking for. He should be careful as they will surely return. They need to face the punishment for what they've done. That's what they deserve for disregarding the environment. Abel just wants to create a world where good people, like his mother, can live peacefully. He thanks Mash very much for stopping him. He also said that he thinks he could build such a world where everyone can live in peace. That's what Abyss wants to see. Mash nodded in agreement. While this was happening, the man from earlier returned to confront Mash. He declared that he was no longer scared and was now going to get proof that Mash couldn't use magic. As he peeked into the room, he saw Abyss talking to Mash and recognized him as the second best of Lang. He wondered why Abyss was with Mash. Suddenly, someone arrived behind him, and when he turned around, it turned out to be Abel, who asked if he needed anything there. He trembled in fear, wondering why Abel was there and recognizing him as the top dog of Lang. He screamed while Abyss shivered again due to Lemon asking what they were discussing. After those events, it was explained what divine visionaries are. They are the foremost magic users in the world and the force that keeps it running. They handle most of the work related to magic, but they also have a role as a state-sanctioned force that protects society against those who would try to disrupt it. To symbolize their role as servants of the divine, they are given titles that mark them as wands of God. After that, we go to the Bureau of Magic, where Mash is on trial concerning rumors that he concealed his magicless status from them. It showed the events one day before he arrived there, while Mash was with his friends, an owl suddenly arrived with the letter. Upon opening it, Lemon and Abyss were surprised because he was indeed summoned to the Bureau of Magic. We return to the present. He is being spoken to by Blessed Minister, the Vice Director of the Bureau of Magic. He said that Mash hiding his condition is a serious crime. And what's more, it was not discovered during their enrollment. Mash was just staring at him. Bless asked Mash if he knows who created their world. Mash answered the question with a question, asking if it was some big shot. Bless said that it was God who created their world for them. And as God's creation, the world is a thing of beauty. The same goes for magic. Magic is a miracle given by God to people only. But there's someone threatening that beautiful miracle. And that person is Mash. Mash was puzzled by this. Does Mash understand that he is a bug in the system and needs to be addressed immediately before he disrupts the order of things? Mash is still puzzled. Mash may understand, but what if things don't always have to be perfect? Bless shouted at this point, saying that it's not in Mash's hands to decide. Suddenly, someone interrupted and said that there's no such thing as unshakable confidence. Bless was surprised. The man said that in the end, only success is important. What he needs is not confidence, but self-belief. Mash has the potential to become a real man. It turns out that this man is the Light Cane, Ryo Grants, the Magic Security Forces captain. Bless called him Lord Visionary and asked what he was doing there. It's not important, Ryo said, and asked if his question to Mash was correct, to which Mash agreed. However, they all follow the rules there, rules that fit the majority. If they tried to accommodate everyone, they wouldn't have stability. So, what can be done when he is not part of the majority? It's simple. He needs to convince the majority to support him. Mash doesn't need to be right. What matters is who's speaking, and he suddenly threw something. He threw a candle, which puzzled Mash. Ryo then told Mash to light the candle without touching it. Without touching it? Mash asked. The man confirmed and explained that magic is the most important thing in their world, so Mash needs to show a miracle stronger than magic. Is it truly manly? If yes, Mash should show it. Mash just stared at it. Bless thought it was nonsense. Ordering a non-magic user to light a candle from a distance. Suddenly, Mash brought out a wand. What could a non-magic user do with a wand? Mash then sat down casually. Ryo was criticized for giving Mash an impossible task, making him surrender. Suddenly, Mash started spinning the wand on the floor, which puzzled Bless. He realized that Mash was rubbing the wand on the floor at an extraordinary speed, even though it was a marble floor. Because of this, Mash created fire using friction. Soon, Mash was able to light the candle. Mash seemed to understand. He would change that world, using his fists. Ryo was pleased and commented on Mash's spirit. Suddenly, someone announced that the Divine Visionaries had arrived. They were informed that they would be dealing with a magicless student. A man directed them to the examination room. One was silent, another was complaining while being calmed by another. One was wondering what Wahlberg was thinking while another was feeling cold. One said that they exist to maintain order, and there are no exceptions. And that's where this video ends. What do you think about it? Will these Divine Visionaries stand a chance against our protagonist? What could be the judgment for Mash's offense? Write your comments down below. If you want more anime and manga recaps, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with new videos.